So this is a video of the assignment block diagram. Understanding signal flow is the key point here. And the assignment is basically to draw a block diagram for a studio that would be a basic setup for a home studio or a project studio. Something slightly more advanced than a MBox or GarageBand with a direct input to the computer, but not a professional HD rig or something like that. I'm doing this in the video format because some students probably will have an easier time using a video or utilizing the video in order to get the instructions and have clarity in the assignment. You can also, of course, look at the actual sheet and go back and watch the video again if you have questions as well. So I'm going to basically read through it and then add in a couple points as is appropriate, I feel. Draw a basic block diagram of the following scenario. Blocks should be hand-drawn or computer-drawn, but lines and the boxes must be straight and drawn at right angles. If you're hand-drawing, use a ruler. If you're on a computer, it's generally pretty easy. All connections must have arrowheads showing the direction of the signal flow. We talked about, or if you're not clear on, block diagrams in class. Look them up. And we're not drawing schematics for this. We're drawing block diagrams of the situation. Be sure to label all items and cables. Everything should be labeled in some way. Only use the items listed. You can use any cables you want, meaning there's different ways to set this up. Don't forget to put your name on the assignment. Please don't turn in assignments without names. If you wish, you may design the signal flow for your dream studio. It must contain at least the components listed below in this assignment. This means that instead of the Fire Studio that I give you here, PreSonus Fire Studio, you could substitute a Digio 3 rack or a Fireface 400, etc., whatever system you want. Here is the basic PreSonus Fire Studio, what it offers, which is a FireWire interface for connection with the computer, 8 mic/line inputs. It has 8 preamps in it, 6 additional line inputs, which is kind of an interesting feature on one of these one rack mount rack space units. 2 main outputs and 4 line outputs, a MIDI input and output. You can also go and download the entire manual for that at presonus.com, Presonus, if you want. Or you can go check out some of those other ones, the Digio 3 rack or mixer or the Fireface 400. Here's the components that should be included in your block diagram. A Mac Pro computer, or a computer of your choice. A vocal condenser mic. Do some research. Figure out what would be appropriate. Outboard tube compressor for vocals with balanced inputs and outputs. And you can implement that as an insert or just in the direct signal chain pre-tape. Up to you. A MIDI keyboard used for only MIDI signals, so it's a MIDI controller. A pair of headphones. A pair of studio monitors. Once again, do some research. A guitar and a guitar amplifier, dynamic microphone to pick up and mic the guitar amp, a stereo CD recorder for direct to 2-track or final 2-track mixes, as opposed to bouncing out of the system. You'll actually use the outputs from the interface to go to the 2-track recording device, in this case a CD burner, something like a Tascam DVRA 1000 HD is the one that we have in the main studio there. A synthesizer connected via 1/4-inch unbalanced output, and then a DI box, which most likely will be used with the guitar in this situation. Obviously, you can add on top of that as you feel necessary, or whatever. Use a different device, different computer, change it, but make sure everything is labeled clearly. In labeling things clearly, your cables should be labeled clearly as well. The easiest way to do that is using a key. So keep that in mind. If a cable has line level on it, or mic level on it, or is USB, or is FireWire, or is just MIDI data, that should all be indicated. There should be a key that shows this is MIDI, MIDI is blue, USB is green, FireWire is red, audio is black, and mic level is, or line level audio is black, and mic level audio is dashed. It doesn't really matter, just whatever makes it clear. And then remember arrowheads. Grading is 50 points for following direction and having that amount of equipment, having those types, those specific pieces of equipment. And then 50% of the grade is on formatting. So a large portion of this is making sure it's neat and readable. That's very important. With that, I have an example here of a block diagram that I think is worth checking out. So I'm just going to show it here on the video and talk about it a little bit. Block diagrams should flow from left to right, top to bottom. So, sorry, mail just got here. So you can see here several of the devices and interfaces. Several of the devices and interfaces, they all have arrowheads. Right there in the middle is a patch bay going up and down here. So all these devices are plugged into the patch bay, and then you can take the output. You can see they're all numbered, maybe. I don't know if that's clear enough. And then you have the arrowheads there. It all flows into this mixer. Below that we have the Pro Tools interface, and then over on the left side you have the 2-track outputs and I think some tie lines down here. So that's a full, very well laid out schematic diagram that can probably be found on the website. All of those lines in the actual PDF are colored, and then there's a key down somewhere. I don't know. It's hard to tell backwards. Oh, it's up here. There. So you can tell what all the lines are. Very, very, very useful, very important. So make sure that you also have a key. Make sure it's labeled clearly, and it's a cool assignment. Do it for your studio. Make it useful. Make it relevant to what you want in your system, in your setup. Do some research. A little long on the video here, but hopefully you gained some knowledge about it. If you have questions, obviously you can go back and watch the video again, or you can look at the actual assignment sheet, and hopefully that'll answer all your questions.